Good morning, everyone. I am just sitting outside in the backyard enjoying this lovely weather, drinking my coffee. Yes, it says Queen of Everything. It's finally starting to feel like fall weather in Las Vegas, where we live. It's cooling down, it's not super hot and unbearable to be outside, so I'm just out here enjoying the day. Micah's hanging out with me. Say hi, Micah.
Hi.
Yeah, we're just kind of chilling out here. Jonah's at school. My husband is off work today, so I get to enjoy some time baby free for a little bit. I cherish these days when he's home, because otherwise it's me all day with 3 kids. Well, mostly just 2 because Jonah goes to school, but on the weekends it's me and the 3 of them. And it's busy and it's hectic, so I enjoy when he's off of work and I can kind of just relax a little bit, sip on my coffee. Yeah. So our house is finally, not finally, it hasn't been that long, but it's officially up on the market. Yesterday was the first full day, and we are waiting to see, how many showings we get, thinking about doing potentially an open house, and just kind of, taking it easy, taking it slow, I should say, because like I said, we're not moving till January. We have time. We're not in a rush. But yeah, just enjoying this Vegas fall weather, for maybe the last time. I mean, not the last time forever. We'll be back to visit, obviously. But for the last time, maybe living here. But who knows? Nobody knows the future. We don't know if we're going to, live and spend the rest of our days in Ethiopia, or whether we'll move back here. It's not our plan or intention to move back to the United States, but, only God knows what the future holds. We make plans and then we listen and obey and follow the Holy Spirit as He leads. So we may end up coming back years down the line. I don't know. But yeah, we just kind of go with the flow of the Holy Spirit, basically, and go as He leads. And this is how we've been living life since before I've been married, I've been living life like this. But, definitely with my husband in my marriage, we're on one accord with this. This is how we live life, even when I was in college and was about to graduate and had already applied for and been accepted to the Peace Corps. I know that was the leading of the Holy Spirit for me and for my life, because I wasn't ready to go into corporate America and get a job and start that kind of life. And I knew that the Lord was leading me on a different, less traditional path. So maybe I should tell you guys about that story a little bit, about, how I decided to go into the Peace Corps. So let me take a sip of my coffee. Hold on. So I was in about my junior year of college. I was going to Georgetown University at the time in Washington, D.C. And I was doing an internship with PricewaterhouseCoopers in auditing and consulting company. And it was the summer of my junior year going into my senior year. And I really enjoyed that work. Well, no, I really enjoyed the internship. I met a lot of great people. It was a great experience. But I actually didn't really like auditing. And the only reason why I even went into auditing was because my dad, hi Dad, love you. He encouraged me to do a field that would provide some job security. And, you'll always need accountants, and I'm sure it's a great field for people who like accounting, but you need a certain aptitude for it, and I just didn't have it. Like, it did not click for me. I'm really good at math, but for some reason, auditing, accounting, all that, it did not click for me. So, auditing, okay, I want to say accounting, not auditing, because I did end up doing a job with auditing programs, and that I did excel at. But accounting is what I'm saying here. It didn't click for me. I don't have the aptitude to be an accountant, and that was the field that my dad was encouraging me to go into: accounting or computer science, both of which could provide really great job security for many years, but just weren't a good fit for me. So anyways, I digress. Back to the story. So I was doing the internship at PwC, and kind of honestly fumbling and bumbling around in that internship, and it ended up that I didn't get a job offer at the end of it. And I also got a really bad grade in accounting. So I was like, what am I doing? Why am I trying to force this, trying to make this happen? It's clearly not something I'm good at, not something I enjoy. So now what? So I was going into my senior year. I finished the internship. I didn't get a job offer, and I was really at a loss. So, I spent a lot of time in prayer and just kind of reflecting on my life and being really introspective about who I am and what I want, and seeking the Lord for guidance. And in that time during my senior year, someone invited me to a housewarming, and it was somebody, the person who invited me I knew, but the person whose house it was I didn't know. But I was like, yeah, I'll go. Sure, why not? It's an opportunity to get out and meet people, and I'm a people person, so I'm always going to say yes to that. So I went to this housewarming, and the guy whose house it was had been a Peace Corps volunteer in Mali, I think, West Africa. And so, I was listening to him and hearing all about his experience in the Peace Corps, and I was so inspired that night, literally that same night, I went home, got on my computer, and applied to the Peace Corps. I was just so inspired, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is my next move. So I finished the application, and it took, I would say, I don't know how many months, but it took a long time to go through that process. There are several steps, and if you're interested in joining the Peace Corps, maybe I'll do another video about that. The application process, even though I'm sure it's changed since I did it. I was in Peace Corps. I left in 2011, so it's been a while. But when I had first started the application process and I heard back from the Peace Corps recruiter, they told me that I would potentially, most likely, be going to South or Central America. And sorry about my hair, guys. And so I was excited about that. I was like, wow, I get to learn Spanish. I think it's kind of very well-used common language around the world, and it'll boost my skills and my resume. So I was like, okay, Spanish. And there's a lot of really nice, I think, Hispanic countries, Latin countries in Latin America. So I was really open to that idea. So this whole time I was going through, my uncle had a Rosetta Stone account that he let me use, and I was trying to learn Spanish and practicing all these words and phrases and all this stuff. And then finally in the mail, I get my, what is it called? Invitation letter, my Peace Corps invitation letter, which is like the last step. You're going, this is your assignment, this is where you're going, and all that stuff. So I get this invitation letter. I'm so excited. I take it to my room, I open it up, and I'm like, which Latin American country am I going to? And it says Ethiopia. I was like, I was blown away. I was completely caught off guard by that assignment, because nowhere in my application process or speaking with the recruiter or anyone did they tell me that I might be going to Africa. So it was a complete change of course for me. I had, like I said, been practicing Spanish and envisioning this life in Latin America. So Ethiopia was completely foreign to me. I didn't know anything about Ethiopia. I didn't know any Ethiopian people. I literally knew nothing about Ethiopia. So I just started Googling and researching and trying to find as much as I could about Ethiopia. learning the language. I even went out and went to an Ethiopian restaurant with some friends, just to kind of get a feel for where I was going to be living for the next 2 years. And I was just open. I think that's what Peace Corps always tries to do for people, is make you open and ready for anything, for any adventure. And I think that was the first step, kind of like the introduction to my Peace Corps service, because during Peace Corps, if you've ever done Peace Corps, you'll know, but if you haven't, things don't always go as planned, especially if you're trying to do certain projects in your community, or you have good days and bad days, and so Peace Corps helps you redefine what success it looks like and what it is. And I found out through Peace Corps that success doesn't always mean start to finish everything goes perfectly and you have a testimony or rainbows and butterflies at the end. It sometimes ends in a failed project, but the lessons learned and the relationships that were built were the success. The journey that you took, the character qualities that were built in you, that is success. That is a successful outcome. Like I said, I'll do another video maybe another time about my Peace Corps service, because I did end up doing a very successful project, but there were bumps in the road. So yeah, anyways, I got this invitation letter. I was going to Ethiopia. I was trying to soak in as much of it as I could, but still completely caught off guard. So I arrived to Ethiopia in May of 2011, and the first thought that I had was, wow, I'm in Africa. Like, I'm in Africa, and it was so surreal, just to be there and to hear the sounds and smell the smells and just feel like, wow, I am in the motherland. And so, fast forward to now, I really developed a love and an appreciation, not only for Africa as a continent, but for Ethiopia as a whole. I cried so hard when I left my town, which actually I kind of hated when I first got there. Like the very rural town that I lived in, it was a difficult place. People weren't always super nice in that particular town. Ethiopians are very nice, very friendly, welcoming people. But in the town I was in, that was just not always the case for me. I don't know what it was, but I think it was just specific to that town. But I literally bawled my eyes out when I left that town, because, like I said, it was a success. I mean, I had troubles, I had hardships, I had difficulties assimilating in my town. Yeah, it's just bringing back so many memories. But I also made very meaningful relationships. I met my husband there in that town. I learned more about myself and what I'm capable of in that town. I grew up a little bit in that town. I came to Ethiopia at 22. I left at 25. Yeah, 24, almost turning 25. And so it was hard to leave the town. And that actually really shocked me, because I'm like, there were days when I wanted to go back home to the U.S. During my service. But I stuck it out. And I'm so glad that I did. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything in the world. And then, of course, leaving the country itself, I cried again, because Ethiopia became a second home to me. And it's now going to be my first home in a couple months. And that's crazy to think about, too, returning to the motherland permanently, to live there and to raise my kids there. I'm almost envious of the childhood that they're going to have. I had an awesome childhood, and I had my cousins around, and lots of family and all that, but just the fact they're going to be able to learn a different language, a different culture. The way that holidays are celebrated in Ethiopia is just, it's so, there's so much excitement around it. Whereas holidays here are very commercialized and I don't know, kind of shallow. There's so much depth to Ethiopia's culture and to the holidays and the time with the family. It's very communal, community style living. You do everything together. You eat together. You celebrate together. You mourn together. It's a togetherness that that I'm looking forward to for myself and for my children. And I know that there were times that when I was a child, I would be like, I'm bored and I have nothing to do and all that stuff. But I asked my husband, I was like, do you ever remember being bored as a child in Ethiopia? And he said no, like he was never bored. And I think it's because there's always somebody around. You're always doing something together with your family, with friends, with neighbors. And, you know, I think that is going to be a beautiful gift that we're giving our children, you know, that they'll be able to be outside and feel safe. That's the other thing, security. You know, things aren't what they used to be in terms of security for children in the United States, but in Ethiopia, like kids in my town, even where I was in Peace Corps, they would be just kind of outside playing around, and they were safe. And it's not like we didn't have a playground in our town where I was, and it's not like, you know, parents had to always be out there watching them. Kids would just be out there playing, and they didn't have any fear for somebody kidnapping them or you know, something bad happening to them. It was safe. It was community living. People looked out for each other, and I'm really looking forward to that. Like here, I don't know my neighbors. I mean, I see them outside, and say hi, we're friendly, but I don't know them, and I definitely would not trust them with my children because I don't know them, and that's just not the culture here in America. So anyhow, I feel like I'm kind of rambling on, but I just wanted to come on here today and say hi to you guys and just talk a little bit about me and kind of, you know, we're still getting to know each other on this platform. Oh, and one thing I do want to mention, I changed the name of my channel. So it was Free to Praise, and now my channel is called Princess Living Free. And Princess Living Free, I changed it because I think, you know, it's centered around me and my life and my journey to freedom. And that's what I want this to be all about, is my journey to freedom. And I'm still going to be praising, and praise is still what gets us through. But I think that the name change kind of fits what I want this to be about a little bit better. So don't be confused. Continue to like, comment down below on all of my videos, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right.